We told him
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, well, yeah, exactly. James.
That's what Cruz Azul said to Vancouver.
Oh, you mean the talk about dog walk, man? They fucking.
It's the same score line. I mean,
Jesus.
8 minute, 28 minute, 37th minute, 45th minutes, 50th minute. I mean, an onslaught of nonstop aggression. I didn't watch this game.
Vancouver didn't even get a shot in.
No, it's wild to think Vancouver is in first in MLS. Now,
I saw got dog walked by Cruz Azul.
Beautiful,
by
the
right? Cement company.
So is that really them?
It says cement on their jersey, bro.
They're in third place in the Clausura.
In Spanish.
They were in first place in the Apertura.
Yeah, they won the Apertura. They're in third in the Clausura. I don't know, man. I still don't believe in this Vancouver team, even though they're technically the best team in our league.
I'm not hype, bro. I'm not hype on this Vancouver team. I think right now MLS is going through a transitional period.
Well, does this mean anything for MLS? Is this like, oh God, everything's falling, it's terrible, we look like fools?
Unless freaking Don Garber convinces himself that we might have to start getting a little lenient on the cap, nothing's gonna change, man.
It never does. The more things change, the more they stay the same. James, listen, none of us watched this game, but like, what does this mean? Like, I remember like MLS for RSL back in 2009, right? Like I used to be that kind of cat, right? Like I'd cheer for MLS teams, but to be fair, if the Fire lose, I'm like, yeah, fuck Vancouver.
That's the thing. Like I don't have any loyalty to any other.
Would you not be like, yeah, good, an MLS team won, good for the league?
No, hell no. I have no loyalty. I have no loyalty for any other team but the Chicago Fire.
Why do you even have loyalty to the Fire? Because
that's my hometown team. That's the team
wouldn't exist
that I have season tickets for them. I don't give a shit. Like, you watch the Blackhawks, you like the Blackhawks,
right?
Why don't you go fucking cheer for the Ducks or some shit like that?
I will cheer for like other teams. Right now, I'm cheering for Edmonton taking on Florida Panthers, and I'm like, I kind of want the Canadian team to win. It's been a while.
But that's a whole different. That's a whole different. Like, you're like, yeah, between the two idiots, I'll take this one.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Well, then with the Pacers and the Knicks, I really liked both teams. I was like, I really liked the Knicks, and I really liked the Pacers, and it was really fun to watch the games from that standpoint. Where I'm like, when both, I was rooting for both teams.
And
don't forget to call the New York homies. By the way,
it was really fun.
Sure they're okay.
They just fired Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau got fired.
Yeah, you gotta walk him off the bridge, bro.
Which is wild.
So
talk them down off the bridge.
But for what's the greater meaning for MLS is this: it's far behind. It's still behind League MX. It's how far I do not know, but the real question is, is it doing the things that is necessary to catch up?
No,
I don't think it's doing enough.
No,
not
me. I think MLS or just MLS teams, in general, need to kind of get rid of this whole, connection to the league itself. Like, they have to be more independent and less dependent on MLS. You kind of have to have that whole, kind of have to act almost like an MLB team, yes, there is an MLB, but then these teams tend to act independently.
I feel you. I will say this: I'm not necessarily RSL or MLS for RSL anymore. I'm not that hardcore, but I do like watching other teams, and I enjoy other players in the league. And as a whole, I would like the quality of the league to improve. But for me personally, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't feel like I don't need validation from anyone else to be like, I enjoy this, right? Like, I don't care. Like, I enjoy this. Whatever. And then perfect timing. James has got up on a screen.
Speaking of external validation, insecurities, here's LAFC.
They beat Club America, who was, as we saw, who was in first in the Clausura, right? They were second or third in the Apertura. But like, dude, does this mean that, like, because I saw tons of people freaking out about the Vancouver game about how MLS is so behind, but yet on the very same night, LAFC beat Club America.
I don't give a shit, man.
It's behind the
Like
ball.
I honestly don't give a shit of LAFC. I don't give a shit about Vancouver. Like honestly, anytime any of those teams beat the Fire and their shitty fans are in our stadium, it just pisses me off. It like makes me hate the team even more. Like when you have Cincinnati fans, when you have those fuckers from Ohio showing up at Soldier Field, you know
Most of them were really nice, though, to be fair.
I know. I you know what? I know. That's the hard part. But I hate the fucking team, you know?
But you have principles you must stick to. I love it. Dude. All right, James, are you having an MLS existential crisis, or are you just like,
dude, I'm over the MLS, dude. I've been following my USL team. I haven't paid attention to them lately, but I've been following them from afar in my heart.
So I brought this up. I don't know if I mentioned this to James earlier tonight, but this is a near and dear thing to my heart. Peoria City is in USL 2, and USL 2 is very segregated in the fact that there's over 100 teams in the league in USL 2, but they stay within their conference. They don't really mingle. So they've started like ranking them like college teams, and Peoria City 4-0-0 is ranked number 1 in the country in USL 2, baby.
So they're gonna get promoted or what? Are they gonna get promoted?
Not yet. But I mean, yes. To your point, it would be rad as shit if they got promoted. But let's be fair, USL 2 is development. This is kids.
So this is like equivalent. This is equivalent to like the Kenosha Kingfish. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Are the Kenosha Kingfish in USL 2?
No, Kenosha. It's like a summer baseball team that.
Oh, get out of here with your Savannah Banana bullshit.
It's
a bunch of college kids.
Savannah Bananas. They're fun.
No, of course, but not like as an argument in a conversation about sports.
Hey, you can get good seats at the Kenosha Kingfish games for like $12, man.
You know,
listen, you can get phenomenal seats in Peoria City for real. I wished and hoped something like this would have been there when I was there, and like, dude, it's so rad to see him number 1 in the country. They turned an old minor league baseball stadium into a beautiful park for a USL 2 team. Like, they put some seats in the stands. I unfortunately was there this weekend and did not get out to see the ladies play. I wanted to, but my parents are old, man. They wanted to go home after a long day of farmers markets and such.
This is equivalent to like the National League and the Premier English Premier League, you know.
Basically, yes, you're not wrong, because this is like college kids who don't lose eligibility by being on these teams, right?
Exactly.
So dude, and it's fun. I got to tell you, I'm very happy to see, and we will be following them all season.
Speaking of all season, Atletico Madrid renew Antoine Griezmann through 2027. He won't be coming through to MLS anytime soon.
You know. I mean, we're missing out a bunch of players, but I don't want to go into the next segment, but I'm just gonna say it like this: maybe if you build it, they will come.
Where are all these MLS players? Where are all these stars that we're supposed to be signing for NMLS for World Cup? Like, it hasn't happened. In fact, De Bruyne doesn't look like he's going to be coming to Chicago Fire, as we mentioned in the past. Looks like Napoli.
Napoli, yeah, Napoli.
Yep. MLS is losing out to these big clubs, and why? It's because the football doesn't matter. There's no promotion relegation. The games aren't on the line. Nothing, and the pressure isn't there. At least with the Apertura and the Clausura, with Liga MX, there's pressure. Maybe
what? They don't have relegation anymore.
But there's pressure on the Apertura and the Clausura.
You know what? The thing is we just got to keep supporting MLS. We got to support our local club teams. Let me specify that. we got to support our local club team, which is
Yeah,
for
if
us
you
is
can get
Chicago
in to
Fire.
see them.
You know, I get it. There's a lot of USMNT fans that hate MLS for whatever reason. They think that MLS is like the freaking the leprosy of of soccer or whatever. But the problem is that this is the only thing we have in order to for us to develop players that we could ship them off to Europe. I mean,
I don't see a problem with MLS, its station in life, dude. Like,
I know.
listen, I was gonna bring this up during the Fire game, the talk, but I'll say this: I was watching the game, and I just thought, my God, I remember running to the television in 2008 to see a game where they headed and kicked the ball long back and forth. The ball was in the air constantly.
The
And
long
then
ball
I'm
play.
watching the Fire in Orlando, and they are slicing each other back and forth, bombing up and down the field. And I was just like, wow, the quality of this league is out of sight compared to what it used to be.
I want to say this though, like, especially for the USMNT fans that don't care for the MLS, and that's okay. But keep in mind, you like to see Christian Pulisic in Europe. You like to see all these American players in Europe. MLS is gonna have to be the vehicle to get them there. Look how long it took us to develop one Christian Pulisic, and he didn't even go through the MLS. He went through like the AYSO. So, let's hope that in the next decade we'll be able to develop 3 or 4 Pulisic type players from the MLS.
I'd like that because there's no shame in, like, say, having a Dempsey who starts in MLS and goes on and does whatever, and then having a Christian Roldan and a Jordan Morris who hang out in the league and are big fixtures and big personalities in this league. There's nothing wrong with all that, and then
you
there's
need a
nothing wrong
backup.
with bringing guys closer to retirement over if you also supplement it with young, like, talent you're trying to sell. Like, it's okay to be the hodgepodge.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like to think that one day, someday, MLS clubs will be able to actually compete with European clubs. I would like to see
now.
that.
They already can, but like you're talking about the big boys. You mean
I'm talking about
tier
like
1 league teams. Like
I'm talking about that one day we might get to see freaking Kansas City, or some random ass team like Nashville beat Real Madrid on some freaking cash grab tournament that FIFA makes out. I'm just saying that.
I mean, that kind of thing is starting right now, and nobody's happy about it.
Unless it's like a super league, that's the only way it would happen.
Yep. I mean, that's not completely out of the realm of possibility, by the way, that like everybody just looked at the European Super League and never thought maybe Arsenal is going to be like, okay, why don't New York? Why don't you join?
That's the thing. Imagine like this PSG team that won like the Champions League. Imagine they had like another one-off game against some random MLS team or the North American champion or whatever.
Yeah, the North American, whether it be Club America or Minnesota United.
And then what happens? And then it'll be funny as hell if Minnesota United beats them, in Minnesota or in Italy. I don't, or not Italy, but France or whatever.